higher. You are listening to an exclusive review. ASOT, A State of Trance.
Welcome to another 10 Questions With, and this week we have Ben Gold in the studio. He was in the show earlier to play a set from Sound Advice Chapter 2. It's not going to be released until September, but he still wants to share the music with the world. And you have submitted the questions from him. How are you doing, first of all, Ben?
Yeah, I'm doing good. First of all, it was really good to actually play some stuff on A State of Trance that isn't finished.
Was it scary?
It's always scary playing new music. But I think out of the 4 tracks I played, 2 were finished and 2 are still demos. But I also thought it was a good opportunity to kind of share the process of writing the album with everyone. And, you know, I read all the comments and feedback, and I'm sure I'll take it on board as I go to the studio sessions to finish them. So let me know what you think.
Yeah, let's start off with the questions, because that's what this whole thing is about, of course. The first one is by CN Malone 14. It's a good question. What would your Surfers or Dreamer track be?
I think Gaia 2 Van.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Good question. It just connected with me. Like from the moment I heard it, I loved those. The gated vocals. Can
you do them? Let me put on the reverb. Let's do it.
It's something like that. I think. I just love that record. I remember hearing Armin playing it at Terminals in London. And yeah, my group of friends, we just all connected with that record. So I guess that's the reason. Yeah, it's a record for my friends.
Gaia 2 Van.
Gaia 2 Van.
Nice.
Or actually, there's another one, Guriella La Gaia. That's also another one from my early trance days. Yeah.
When you were 5 years old.
A little bit older, but yeah, when I started going raving or clubbing, at 17, 18. Guriella La Gaia.
The vocal version or the non-vocal?
No, the non-vocal version. Yeah.
Next question comes from Matt Fax.
Matt Fax.
Yes, here he is. When are we going to collaborate? It has been 6 months without no news. Just joking. I know you're busy, so you didn't reply to his emails for 6 months. That you need to explain that one.
Yeah, I do. So we started talking when I was just at the back end of Sound Advice 1, and yeah, I love his music. He remixed one of our tracks, and I thought, it'd be great to get him on board to do a track with him for Sound Advice 2. Then the Future Code project came around, which meant that Sound Advice 2 went on hold for kind of maybe like 8-9 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Future Code project came around really fast, and it was you guys are closing main stage, A State of Trance, and we're like, well, if we're going to do that, we have to really bring something special.
Yeah.
So yeah, Omnia and we both put all of our plans on hold, and we focused on that for like 4 or 5 months of solid work. So Matt, I'm really sorry for not getting back to you.
But when you were on air here, you said that the album was not done yet, so there's maybe an open space still on Sound Advice 2.
Yeah, you know what? There could be. I'm going to finish. I tell you what, Matt, actually, I can answer your question. I can tell everyone at the same time. Once I finish everything that I've started for the album, if there's any time, let's jump on a record. If not, 2020.
Sound Advice 12.
Yeah. No. It'd be more like 3.
Okay. Next question comes from Eggs Haasthoff Harmonist. What is your favorite VST plugin?
I like Sylenth, it's really easy to use. Sylenth Inspire, I guess, yeah.
That's the typical answer.
Yeah,
can you maybe name something that, what would be the last one that you bought? Or maybe a cool effect plugin, or your secret plugin on your master chain, for example?
Okay, I use the UAD plugins. I brought the UAD Apollo Twin sound cards, and ever since I bought that, I've been using their plugins a lot. Not so much for the master, but for the compression and EQ. I use. But you know what? I don't really use anything fancy. I really don't. I'm quite simple. I use a lot of the stock plugins from Logic. I just try and use what I've got. And use it to the maximum. I wouldn't say I'm a super technical, geeky, nerdy producer.
You're fast.
I'm fast, thank you.
Yeah,
we made
we sat in the studio a few times. So.
Yeah, we have. But yeah, I know where things are. I know how to get certain results. And maybe I don't rely on too many presets, so I just make it myself. Use of reverb and delay are quite handy, and I tell you what I do. I render the delay effects and reverb effects. That gives me a lot of control over the effects.
So you see what happened.
And then you can also manipulate that, like the delay channel with distortion, phaser, and that kind of really starts bringing the sound alive. Although I'm not actually affecting the actual signal of the or from the VST or the audio unit.
So you take a lead, you have the lead on one channel, and then you take a delay and a reverb underneath, for example, and then you put effects on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can bring them in and out to create all kinds of different effects. But yeah, I do that more than I do, say, sound design, for an example. I don't sound design from scratch. I do when it comes, if you're going to start layering. I think as soon as you put two sounds together, you're sound designing.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then the use of delay and reverb and all kinds of different effects on separate channels. It takes the time. That's a bit that takes the time, but you can get some amazing results that way.
So you didn't answer the question. What's your favorite piece? Let's keep it on silent and inspire.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it on these two because I think that's where I get a lot of my sounds from. Nexus as well. I use Nexus quite a bit. It's never the lead sound in my sound,
layers.
but it's always a layer in there because it's solid.
Next question comes from Nadine37. Yes, always submits good questions. The next one that she had was, how did you and Omnia come up with the idea to start Fujiko?
So we were asked to perform back-to-back at Electronic Family last year and Untold Music Festival. And after 2 shows, we decided when we were planning the set, we thought, well, let's just play our own music. We have so much Ben Gold and Omnia music.
It connects really well.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were able to make a set that went from here to here just by using our own tunes. And of course, we already had the Gateway and we had the Conquest. We released the set, and the fans really they loved it. It was getting shared a lot, reposted. A lot of people were asking us when are we going to be playing again.
Yeah.
And then A State of Trance booked us to close the main stage of ASOT Utrecht. And we thought, well, if we're going to be doing that, we really need to be bringing something. So we got in the studio, and I guess it was a combination of the fans and A State of Trance really that kind of made Future Code. And then we just made sure that, we hoped that we would bring something extra for our set, something that was unheard. So we got in the studio, made 6 new tracks, a live PA from Roxanne Emery, and of course you joined us on stage when we dropped Trinity.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a conquest, I remember.
Yeah.
Going from the studio to the main stage, it was a distance of I think if you need to walk from the studio to the main stage, it's at least 20 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
so somehow the Alda, thank you so much, Alda, they arranged a drive for me. So I got in the car, I went around the venue.
That's how we did it. Me off. Yeah, I mean, you just walk in the back door and then you're there.
Yeah, and your set was the last of the day. Yeah. So I needed to be back in the studio before the end of the broadcast. So I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Yeah, we played it at I think 5:30ish. And I remember turning around and, he's not here yet. Okay, well maybe we're not going to do it, Yevgen. And then we'll just continue playing. And then, you made it. Great. Come up on stage.
Next question comes from Dana Banais. Some words in Spanish did you know?
Sí. Gracias. Yeah, this is it. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, that actually... Yes, thank you. How are you? Maybe you should say it the other way around.
You need some more for Ibiza soon, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, Ibiza in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I need to start learning. Maybe you could tweet me some or send me a message, some Spanish.
Help him out, Dana Banais.
Help me out.
Yes. Wreck-It Ralph 87 wonders, what impresses Ben Gold?
Someone who whips me at FIFA. I wouldn't say I'm the best at FIFA, but I do enjoy playing, and if I lose, I have to play again online until I've won. Then I can turn it off and I can leave happy. But if someone really, really, whips me at FIFA, it's just
I think we played one game and we had a draw.
We did have a draw, I remember. We need to play again.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Next question comes from LFC Ben MCC. If you could remix any track, what would it be?
Remixing music or remixing any record is a challenge. I always try and Before I take on a remix, I want to make sure I can put my stamp on it. I don't want to just turn out like the original, but with my production. I want to kind of bring something fresh to the remix. So it's always. I tell you, one track I really wanted to remix was Cherry Blossom.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, which I did, and it was funny because I reached out to Marcel and I said, are there any parts available? And there wasn't, so we had to recreate the sound for the lead. And yeah, to be honest with you, I was quite nervous with that one as well.
Yeah,
it is because it's a classic, and it was it is a classic, but it was one of the biggest,
and it inspired you a lot as well.
Yeah,
in previous productions,
for sure, absolutely. The sound design and the sound of the melody was just amazing, and really that was kind of my idea for the A State of Trance anthem.
But you already did that one. He wonders which track would it be. So you already did that one, and he's also asking if you get the remix parts of any track.
Okay, Gaia 2 fan.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's going to be the one. Yeah, make a note. Yeah. But I would definitely need the parts. I can't recreate that one.
Just use this, what I just did. Easy. Next question comes from Nicola Camaralengo. When will the next Future Code be released?
June 28th, and it's called The Network.
The Network.
Yeah, it's called The Network. It'll be the next one that we release.
The fourth.
It'll be the fourth single,
fourth single, yeah.
We then have one more, a remix of Free Falling featuring Audrey Gallagher.
Okay.
We also dropped that in our set. So that one will also be released around early August. And we have as of yesterday, we just started working on the next set of Future Code music, which is really exciting. We kind of had ideas left over from what we were unable to finish in time. So yeah, we've just picked up the production on those. And I really hope that we have another single with Roxanne Emery. It's all been kind of agreed in principle. Yeah. We just need to send her some chords and she needs to write the vocal. So
everything that you are releasing so far, that's all the stuff that you played in Utrecht at the main stage?
Yeah, we have 2 more to release. From that set, and then we are back on stage in 2 weeks at EDM Mania.
Okay.
And then we go to High with Armin.
Nice.
And then on to Canada, Untold. We have a load of Asia dates and even further to announce really soon. So of course we want to bring some fresh music. So that's what we're working on right now. Is the next next future music. Yeah.
Nice. Next question comes from 5M Insta. Have you ever had a failure that later in the future helped you succeed at something else?
Sorry, repeat that first bit.
Have you ever had a failure in your career that later in the future helped you succeed at something else?
I think as a producer, you're always learning. Right? Always learning new techniques, how to achieve new things, and yeah, if I don't get it right the first time, I just keep going, you know, and you're gonna fail before you achieve. So I guess that kind of happens quite regularly. Yeah. Whether it's a new technique or you want to create something that you've heard in another record, and you're like, you know what, that'd be really good if it was maybe in a Ben Gold way. But of course, I mean, it'd be great if we just sat down and it just happened.
Yeah.
But it never does. So it's always a trial and error. So yeah, from a production point of view, I think that.
Let me rephrase that question a little bit. If you go back 10 years in time, what would you say to your current Ben Gold at that moment? Like certain decisions that you would take that you shouldn't or you should take?
I think making sure that you don't party, you don't drink any alcohol at your shows. I think that would be the key advice for anyone.
Just to focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the reason: is because if you're playing Friday and Saturday night, you travel to the US on Friday day, so all Friday's gone. You play Friday night, you drink, you're hungover Saturday morning. You then need to drink again on Saturday just to get through Saturday's show. Sunday, you're wrecked. You get on a flight, you probably feel sick, maybe at least hungover. You get home Monday or Tuesday, and you need a day in bed. You need to recover from that. And then if you're playing again on Friday, Saturday, the following weekend, you have 2 days at best in the studio. And if you've only got those 2 days, you have to be firing on all cylinders in those 2 days.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't always happen.
No.
You can sit there and you're like,
you would lose a week.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that although I got through it, and obviously it kind of worked out okay, I think it would have worked out differently, possibly, had just full focus You know, there's times, you know, people with an office job, they don't go to work and have a drink, do they? Or any other job. Yeah. Just because we work in the nightlife industry, that doesn't mean that. And it's easily accessible.
It's tempting, I guess.
It is tempting, but I think that if you can just, resist that temptation and focus on the bigger picture and your long-term goal, then I think, and then also you'd make smarter decisions.
Isn't this all part of maturing, I guess?
Yes and no. Like I think,
or being sensible.
I think it is about being sensible, and I mean, I don't know. I think it would be the advice I would tell anyone. You know, just make sure you focus. Don't go to work and party. You know,
maybe that's already thinking like maybe it's a generation thing as well. Like in the past, all DJs were really like party animals, and now you see more professional. Like in the new generations coming, is more professional, surrounded by more people, seeing it more as a job maybe instead of.
I also think now it's harder. You know, if it's harder to get onto lineups, it's harder to sustain this life and this job. So obviously if you're hungover for 50% of the time,
good luck.
Good luck. You're not going to be at the best version of yourself.
No.
And I think, and actually, if you can be the best version of yourself and 50% hungover at the same time, don't listen to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Last question comes from another artist that was here in the studio actually to do 10 questions last week, which got a bit out of control with the 30 minutes session. Factor B, he's asking his question: is it true you have a spa on your rooftop? And if so, when are you hosting a shindig? I don't know what a shindig is, but
a shindig's like a party, like a gathering.
Is that a Aussie thing?
Or no, it's a UK thing. Yeah, so, shindig.
So tell Brendan.
One of my everyone. So it is true. I do have I don't have a full spa. I have a 4-person. I'm small, so maybe like 6 of me.
2 of me.
Yeah, maybe 2 of you. A hot tub on my rooftop. And it's not actually, I bought it, I have it, it's not installed yet. That's actually my job this week. I need to get that done. But as soon as it's done, Brendan and you, Ruben, and anyone else, well, not anyone else, but, you know.
Everybody listening right
now. We'll definitely have a party. So.
Okay. That was 10 questions already, but I have actually one more question because I really want to know as well. By Danilo Nigro. What happened to Gold Rush Radio and the label?
The radio show I really enjoyed, and to be honest, I miss it. I miss putting together a show, listen to promos weekly. When I had the show, I was way more strict with promos. Now I don't have the show, I'm not as strict. And the reason that I stopped doing the show was for Sound Device 1. I knew at that time with touring and just kind of everything, it was a bit difficult to. I didn't want to give my radio show to someone else. I didn't want someone else to mix my show. Although I could do the promos and I could give it to someone else to put it together, I didn't want to do that.
No.
I wanted to have full control, and it was just down to a time thing. I really wanted to do an album at that point, and it was starting to come together. And I just thought, you know what? If I can focus on this. And if I didn't have the radio show, I could allow more time for the album and other projects like Future Code. So that was the reason. With the label side, I had it was an A&R thing. I had a really good team, and I just felt that it was maybe not going in the right direction at the time. Maybe a little bit inexperienced. Wasn't anticipating it. Didn't prepare for it enough. And also I was touring so much, and
So it's more of a time thing that you didn't have time to do the radio show anymore, and not enough time to focus on the label.
See, it's when you line it up like that, it kind of sounds like
no, but it's hard work because
it is hard work.
I know how it is to do. I do.
Yeah, you do all of it.
A State of Trance. I do my own radio show as well,
and you still have an album.
I still, and I do everything myself as well.
So maybe it's I'm. Well, you know what? I take longer than most. Although I'm a fast producer, when you and I sit in the studio, we can put
the finishing part.
The finishing part takes me a long time, and it is difficult when I'm doing my own music. like when I'm collaborating, I find it really is enjoyable and faster to collaborate.
Yeah.
When I'm working on my own stuff and it's just me in that studio,
Like, I can change this a little bit. I can
change this.
Oh, this melody wasn't good, and then you go back. Yeah.
And you go round and I'm bad at that. I need to learn how to just know when it's right and when to walk away and when to leave it alone. Because I can finish a record or have it 80%, start changing one thing because I get bored of the bass line, and then all of a sudden now, I don't have a bass line anymore.
Maybe that's good that you played already like unfinished tracks in ASOT this week, so you can't really change too much about it anymore.
Plus, I'm trying to improve, right? I'm trying to improve in that department. But I wish that I was a faster producer. I wish I was faster in the studio.
But to be honest, like you are going to deliver 3 albums in 1.5 years. I wouldn't call that slow, my friend.
No, but then again, it was because I didn't have the radio show or the record label to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I could really focus on other things. And I guess that is the proof right there.
Yeah.
Although Future Code wasn't an album.
You need to pick.
6 tracks is half an album.
Yeah.
And I'm going to deliver probably 8 tracks on Sound of Ice 2, 7 on Sound of Ice 1, and then 6 on Future Code. And Future Code is still coming, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I freed up time in order to get to focus on other things.
I'm glad you did, because
do you know what? So am I because it's really it's not nice, because during the week, you know what it's like. If you're sat there, if I haven't got a radio show and I haven't got a label anymore, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be in the studio, and if I'm not achieving, then what are you achieving? Not a lot.
Well, you can always sit in your rooftop spa.
Yeah, I just need to install that. And then, actually, I'm not good at it. Or play PlayStation. Oh, if only I could play PlayStation from my spa. Oh, I wouldn't get any music written.
I didn't play. I used to play a lot of PlayStation. I don't have the time anymore, man. I'll miss it.
Maybe
my latest FIFA is probably FIFA 2017.
That's only 2 years. Or 1 year. No, 2 years. Well, we need to find some time.
Yeah.
And do you know actually a funny story about FIFA Online? I would give my gamer tag out. I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
And I've said to people, add me, let's play a game. But I got absolutely whipped by this guy. Not once, not twice, 3 times. I was like, look, you were lucky, let's do a rematch. And then I was shooting the music video for Kinetic in Montreal, sorry. And the video team came to my hotel room, and we were discussing plans. And I forget his name, but he introduced himself. And I said, "Oh, nice to meet you." He said, "Oh no, we have met before." I was like, "Really? Oh, okay. Well, my bad. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you." He said, "No, we didn't meet in person." And I'm like, "Okay, well, where did we meet then?"
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, I beat you at FIFA a couple of times." I'm like, "Oh my word!" As if
get out of my room.
Yeah, man. Who invited this guy? Yeah, that was it was funny. It was a small world, you know. I didn't.
That's a really, really, really small world, though.
He's in my hotel room and he beat me at FIFA like 3 times, and I was very impressed. So it was it was funny actually. Just was not expecting it at all.
Good story. Well, that's it. 11 questions this time. I hope we didn't go into overtime again, because a lot of people were like, "Hey, do 30 minutes again." Not a good idea, I guess. So if you're still here and you watched the whole 11 questions with Ben Gold, thank you so much. Sound Advice 2 is coming in September.
Yeah, September.
Sound Advice Chapter 2.
That's right.
In the meanwhile, make sure to check out his set that he did in the radio show this week. Thank you so much, Ben Gold. And next week, we're going to have Estiva here for 10 questions. So if you have any questions for him, leave them down here in the comment section. And we'll be back next time. Bye-bye.
Lifting you higher. This is A State of Trance.